What's going on, YouTube? This is Mike, living with 3M. As you guys can tell, I'm still under the weather. I missed Vlogmas yesterday. Trying my best not to miss today. Today you can see the wife's handiwork in the background. I'm very proud of that. She's really outdone herself for the grandkids this year. And today, what I'm gonna do is talk about the truck and being lifted, what it's like to own and drive a lifted truck. If you're on the fence about lifting your truck or just leveling it, keeping it stock, what have you, then maybe I can add some insight into my lift only. I can't comment on any other lifts and say they're junk or they're great. I don't know, but I can tell you from experience my lift and stock versus lifted. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so for the video, I'm gonna take a glass of water on a ride in the lifted truck, and that way it gives you a visual of how bad the ride is or how good the ride is. You guys be the judge. All right, so we'll take the water into Legend, and we're gonna set it right there. And as soon as I come out, the neighbor is gonna cut grass in December. Let me hurry up and get in the truck. Okay, so a little bit about my truck. I bought it, it was stock, new, and about a year in, maybe a year and a half in, the wife and I had talked, and I did the lift, wheels, and tires all in one shot. I've discussed that in other videos I've done, but let me crank it up where you can get a sound of the exhaust. Muffler delete sounds really good. So, all right, we're gonna back out and tell you a little bit about what I've done. I went with a ReadyLift 7-inch because instead of the 6-inch, I wanted a 7-inch right off the bat, because if you upgrade like with coilovers after that, you can actually get 9 inches out of it if you need to. I didn't go with the coilovers yet, but that will be a future mod. So we're hoping to put that on the truck, but I wanted to fit 35 by 1350s on the truck, so that's why we went with the ReadyLift 7-inch versus a 6-inch. All right, I'm gonna flip this around and let you see the water. Okay, so now we're going through our neighborhood with speed bumps and potholes, and you can see the ReadyLift really handles. You can hear I'm going through some potholes right now. Speed bump. I'll show you where I'm at. Yep, going through here. So it's not like I would say back in the day when you lifted. My son had a lifted Jeep that would throw every bit of this water out of this cup, bouncing just as much as a lowrider. These new lift kits these days, I'm gonna be straight and honest with you guys. My truck rode worse with the factory setup than it does with a 7-inch ReadyLift, and their shocks. I don't even have the Fox shocks or the Rough Country coilovers, and it rides this good. And I'm on a very bumpy road right now. This is a back road that's just got a lot of bumps and potholes and things of that nature. You can see right here in the road. gonna say it rides like a Cadillac, but it rides better than the factory setup. And that's really saying something. So Ready Lift, I can give them 2 thumbs up. If I had to buy this lift kit again, if I had to redo another truck, I would definitely look to them because the angles are in proper, I guess the angles are properly done to where the ball joints aren't at angles that's gonna wear out. So I'm gonna run the store here, but I'm also gonna pull in the bank teller and I'm gonna show you a con of, now we've talked about the pros that the lift kit rides better, my lift kit does, than the factory. But the con, one of the cons of owning a lift kit or a lifted truck. All right, we're on our way again on the road. And just letting you guys just look at the cup and going down the road. This road's got some bumps. I mean, it's not perfectly paved. Still got the rattle in the back. I don't know what that is. When they took my seats out to recover with the cat skin leather seats, and I've still got this rattle back there. Alright. So, but like I said, my Ready Lift kit, it's a 7-inch kit. You're still gonna, to run 13.5 wides on a 20 by 12 negative 44 wheel, it's going to stick out 3 to 5 inches, so you're going to need to cut the crash bars and everything, some plastic here and there, if you're thinking of doing even a Ready Lift 7-inch. So guys that talk about, well, I've got a 6-inch lift and I've got 37s. Well, yeah, they probably do. They can do that, but the offset means everything on the wheel. It's not really as much about the lift. I mean, it all comes into play. But still, do you want your tires tucked up under the truck? I've never been one for really narrow tires on tall tires and narrow. I've never been one for that. I like the wide, meaty look. But it's all personal preference. So. Okay, so the standard kit from Ready Lift 7-inch lift was $2,000. And that's not taking into account install or anything like that. So I guess another con would be price. If, depending on how you look at it, you get what you pay for. So there's a lot more expensive kits out there, you know, the McGaughy's, BDS, to name a few. So exhaust is something I love to do. I don't even play the radio a lot, even though I've got the sound system. So, and we'll hit a manhole right here. Yeah. Can't even really, can't even tell it, like, it's not the biggest jolt in the world at all. I mean, we're riding down the road. 35, 45, 55 miles an hour. The brakes, you can see the water leaning forward. Now, you may ask me, why would I want to do the coilovers if it rides so good the way it is now? And to that I say, the coilovers only improve everything. I mean, the visual aspect, when you look under a lifted truck, you see those reservoirs and the coils, coilovers, shocks, all that stuff. I love the visual aspect of a lifted truck. You know, first impressions when you walk up on it. That's just, you know, I know that's a minor thing for a lot of people, but for me, I love it. I love when I get comments and they walk up on it and they're like, man, what is that? You know, what, you're talking about the reservoirs and the coilovers. I've got a few buddies with them on theirs, and they love it. And they're very expensive. Adding coilovers is probably another $2,000, but on top of the lift kit price. But like I always say, you get what you pay for. Okay, so talking about the cons of the lifted truck, I'm gonna show you guys going into this parking lot. This is bad, well, nothing really to be worried about. So we're gonna go and show you what it's like to go through a teller, but I'm not going to, actually, God, I'm going all out. This bank, you see, so yeah, okay, all right, so teller lanes are not made for full-size trucks to begin with. All right, now I'm going to show you guys what I am dealing with. So we're going to get out and take a look at this. Okay. All right, this bank is no longer in service, so I'm not worried about anybody. All right, so with that being said, you can see, I mean, it will make it, but it's a tight fit with that offset. So you have about what, 3 inches, 4 inches on each side, maybe, not sure about that. I'll pull up a little bit more, give you guys a better idea. Okay, this gives you a much better idea. Yeah, I want you to look. There. Ooh, man. So, going through there, we could make it. But if I was on 14 wides, there wouldn't even be a chance. Height-wise, you never have an issue with places like this. But I also want to mention these tellers, how wide they are, how far they come out. See, that may, I don't know, that doesn't come out any further than the concrete, but still you may have to fold your mirrors in. It's a hassle and a con of owning a lifted truck and basically being, I'm not meaning it mean when I say be lazy, but when you own this type of truck, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to get out and go in. One thing I forgot to mention is I do have a lot of sidewall, running a 1350 tire on a 12 wide wheel. So you do have that sidewall protected in case you were to hit that, but it's still no guarantees because that's 4 inches of concrete there. And if you accidentally, there is a chance it can scrub that wheel. So, do you want to risk it or not? Okay, fellas, so that's going to conclude the video for today. Just giving you guys a little insight of what it's like owning a lifted truck, and just on a daily basis, what you might encounter going through bank tellers and stuff like that. Don't take your truck through a car wash, even if it's stock. I would never recommend that. But, you know, other places like oil change places, you got to just think it out before you just take your truck, because it's not stock anymore. It's actually unique to your lifestyle, to what you love, and it's totally different than a stock truck. So with that being said, we're going to conclude the video. This is Mike, living with 3M. I'm under the weather, but I will be back tomorrow. See you guys.